Hello there again. So I hope you heard me okay in those last videos of the stories. I noticed my mic wasn't pushed all the way in, but I think you could hear okay. All right, so here we go. Last story time. Now I did read the Prairie Dog already, so I didn't do that with the last Kokopelli message. So September 5th is when I'm recording this. Rites of Passage. This came up on our male side today. And I'm hearing something. Oh, probably the papers here. You hear my dog barking. My children have papers on Wednesday, so they're probably getting dropped off right now. Hopefully the dog isn't too loud for you guys. So rites of passage. The changes of many winters mark the cycles of the wheel. The lines across my ancient face show that I can feel. The nature of my passage remains a mystery, for in my heart of hearts, I hold my destiny. When I was but an infant in the beginning of time, I marveled at the wonder of discoveries I did find. Now that I am ancient, I have learned once again that the weight of every winter brings discovery like a friend. The teaching. The rites of passage in Native American tradition refers to the changes from birth to childhood to adulthood, or passing from life to the spirit world. The exceptions to this rule are special rites of passage that can occur in certain medicine societies when a member is being initiated into the mysteries of new levels of awareness. These new levels of understanding and spiritual knowledge are opened only to those who have earned the right through the way they live their lives. To have earned the right to pass through the golden door that leads to all other levels of imagination and awareness and involves many years of proven good conduct, demonstration of spiritual gifts, as well as the willingness of elders to pass down that kind of medicine. The rites of passage that every Native American goes through is a part of the growing process are quite different. The particular rites of passage used in ancient times for Native boys usually involved the ownership and care of the boy's first horse. This was the first step to manhood and began a rather long process of learning what it meant to be a warrior. The second step involved going with the tried and true hunters to observe and learn how to track and eventually to become a provider. In this case, the young man was taken as a moccasin carrier. Moccasins were in need of changing rather often if it was snowy or wet, and the young man was responsible for making each party member's dry moccasins available for quick changes. As the young man learned more and more of the proper conduct for a warrior, he was given more responsibility until finally he was chosen to be responsible for a hunting party or raiding party of his own. If one horse or man was lost when he was in charge, it was a disgrace to his judgment and the honor of his family's name. Becoming the successful leader of a hunting or raiding party marked the end of adolescence and the beginning of manhood. Young women, on the other hand, had several rites of passage ceremonies as they came into womanhood. The first was among the women of the Moon Lodge and marked the first menstrual flow or moon time. In my Choctaw tradition, the girl's mother or eldest female relative would go to the creek and cut a piece of moss from the bank and return to the Moon Lodge. The moss was then placed so that a couple of drops of moontime blood would touch it, and then it was replanted along the creek bed. This ceremony was to establish a link to the Earth Mother, and to rejoice in the fertility of the young girl's coming of age. This young woman was then acknowledged by her sisters as a mother of the creative force and a mother nurturer of the dreams of the tribes. She was honored as an equal in the woman's clan. And this coming of age was celebrated by a feast given by her family. This feast was a public ceremony that involved the parents of the woman child. In this ceremony, the tribe gathered for the feast given by the girl's parents, and everyone came in their finest ceremonial buckskins with painted faces. This would be the first time that the young maiden painted her face with a red moon, which marked her first moon time and therefore womanhood. In the rites of passage ceremony that preceded the feast, the maternal grandparents would ceremonially tie the parents together at the wrists with a braided buckskin rope. The rope, about 18 feet, was then extended to the young woman and tied around her wrist. The young woman would then dance around her parents, stopping at the 4 directions to call out her greatness to each direction for her parents' guidance. To call out her gratefulness to each direction for her parents' guidance. Excuse me. This is kind of bugging me a little bit. At least it's plugged in. Hope you hear it. Excuse. Okay, it's one of those days, that's my moon time thing coming up through. It's irritating me. Well, I don't want to be too loud in your ears either. So where are we? The young woman would then dance around her parents, stopping at the 4 directions to call out her gratefulness to each direction for her parents' guidance and love during her childhood. The parents acted as the hub on a wheel and turned toward each direction with their daughter as she danced around them. The circle was made 4 times, and with each round, the daughter called to each direction with a prayer of gratitude for some past kindness her parents had shown her. At the end of the woman's dance, the parents would publicly acknowledge her right to make her own decisions. The parents would then speak of their daughter's virtues and talents and of their continued love for her. The assurance was made at this time that the parents would be available for further guidance, but would not interfere with her life, as she was now responsible for all of her future decisions. The daughter then cut the buckskin rope in a ceremonial manner, marking the final cutting of the umbilical cord, and joyous cries would go up from all observers. Then the feasting would begin and could last for up to 2 days, depending on the ability of the family to provide for the observers. In Sioux tradition, another rite of passage for a young woman marks her reaching a marriageable age. This ritual is called Hunka by the Dakotas and involves the announcement of open season on the young girl for any young man who wishes to court the young woman in question. In the Hunka ceremonies, Hunka, excuse me, no disrespect me. Anyways, in the Hunka ceremony, the girl was carried from her lodge to a ceremonial lodge by members of the warrior clan, who are her father's age, and set down in the presence of an honored elder male who will discuss with her the responsibilities of being an honored woman of the tribe. She will receive a new dress, which is the symbol of her new role in the tribe, and will be expected to follow tribal law. And unspoken regarding the conduct of women. Follow the tribal laws, spoken and unspoken, regarding the conduct of women. In all traditions, each woman, as a mother of the creative force, is called upon to nurture children, the feeble, the ill of health, the elders, the warriors at her side, as well as to nurture the dreams of the people. Native women are held in high regard because they follow the path of beauty. The sacred path is the one of loyalty, compassion for others, hospitality, sharing, sense of family, use and development of personal talents, discretion, inner strength, marital fidelity, and selflessness balanced with a good appreciation of self. Another rite of passage is the last rite made for tribal members when they pass into the blue road of spirit. Some call it dropping their robes. Others call it going to the other side camp. And other tribes call it going to the Sky Lodge. The Plains tribes used to place their loved ones on the death scaffold, which some called the Sky Lodge. The Pueblos buried their dead so they may return to the underworld and nurture Earth Mother with their bodies. The prehistoric red ochre people covered the bodies of their dead with red ochre and placed them in Mother Earth's womb in a fetal position to be reborn in another time. Some seafaring tribes in Northwest would bury their dead under a cairn-like mound of shells to assist the dead in listening via the shells for the time to reawaken and be born again in the physical. Other tribes had burial mounds that contained all of the deceased's sacred medicine objects, which would carry the spirit with his or her talents into the other side camp to assist those still in the physical. In every Native American tradition, death is seen as a new cycle of learning. This final rite of passage ensured a safe and speedy transition to the spirit world. The popular movies have called this transition the happy hunting ground. This is a slang term used by the White Eyes to denote the joy that Native Americans feel upon returning to the ancestors, having successfully completed their earth walk. Every type of rite of passage marks a major change in the way Native Americans view their life path. Each rite of passage brings new privilege to experience the beauty of each phase of life, from the newborn in the cradle board to the oldest elder. Each life cycle adds to the wisdom experience of the tribe as a whole. Beginning with the birth rite, which welcomes the new infant into the tribal family, and ending with the death rite, which sees the graduation of that spirit into a new life. Each rite of passage is celebrated as part of the sacred hoop or medicine wheel of life cycles. The application. A rite of passage marks a time of some momentous... I didn't do that today, sorry. A rite of passage marks a time of some momentous change in life. Momentous. We can say it all day, right? Tomato, tomato. Momentous change in your life. If you have drawn this card, you are being asked to make note of the growth and change that is occurring because it will shape your future. The changes may be small or gradual, but you are changing. The changes may be drastic and earth-shaking, leaving a sense of confusion, but each one is benefiting your growth in some manner. The rite of passage card can also speak of need for a change if you have lost the magic and spontaneity of life. Only you can make the decision to change the doldrums to excitement. If this decision is made, be ready to fly with eagle and experience the new freedoms those changes can bring. In all cases, change is the key. Remember, if the moment you are experiencing is not beautiful, recreate it, and you will have initiated your own rite of passage. And then today, this came with the cleansing, the frog at 1420. We're switching over to the frog and the reading from the frog, the cleansing. Sing, frog, sing, call the rains, quench the dryness, cleanse the earth, then fill me up again. Cleansing. Frog sings the songs that bring the rain and make the road dirt more bearable. Frog medicine is akin to water energy and the east on the medicine wheel. Frog teaches us to honor our tears, for they cleanse the soul. All water rites belong to frog, including all initiations by water. Water prepares and cleanses the body for sacred ceremony. It is the element we understand best in the womb. Frog, like ourselves, is a polywog in the fetal waters and only learns to hop after it experiences the world of fluidity. The transformation into adulthood prepares frog for its power to call in the waters of the skies, the rain. In knowing the element of water, frog can sing the song that calls the rain to the earth. When the ponds are dry, frog calls upon the thunder beings to cleanse and replenish the earth with water. Like frog, we are asked to know when it is time to refresh, purify, and refill the coffers of the soul. If frog hopped into the cards you chose today, its ribbit may be calling in the cleansing you need. If you were to look at where you are today, would you use any of the following words to describe your condition? Tired? Overloaded? Harried? Frustrated? Guilty? Itchy? Nervous? At a loss? Empty? Or weakened? If so, take a break and allow yourself to bathe in the waters of frog medicine. This could mean a long, relaxing bath, disconnecting the phone, yelling, "Stop!" or taking in deep, cleansing breaths. The key thought is to find a way to rid yourself of distractions and replace the mud with clear energy. Then replenish your parched spirit, body, and mind. An ability of frog medicine people is to give support and energy where it is needed. A frog medicine person can clean negativity from any environment. Many mediums or clairvoyants who work with cleaning haunted houses carry frog medicine. Frog is my totem for below. Many of the world's seers use water on their hands when tapping into other realms of reality due to water's superconductive nature. In Mayan and Aztec shamanistic practices, the shaman places water in his or her mouth and sprays it over the body of a patient to clear away negative energy. This is done while holding the thought of frog firmly in the mind so that the healing may occur and the patient may be replenished with positive energy. Sometimes dried and stuffed frogs are also used to guard the person's body during the session. Frog speaks of new life and harmony through its rain song. The deep tones of frog's ribbit are said to be a call to the thunder beings. Thunder, lightning, and rain. The ribbit is the heartbeat that comes into harmony with Father Sky and calls for the replenishment needed. Call to frog and find peace in the joy of taking time to give to yourself. A part of this giving is cleansing yourself of any person, place, or thing that does not contribute to your new state of serenity and replenishment. In contrary, frog slipped in the mud and is lying on its back, unable to right itself. Get ready for more mud in your eye. The contrary position of frog can denote an unwillingness on your part to wipe the mirror out of your life. Mud can turn from mire to bog to quicksand if you don't recognize its effects on your present situation. Is someone draining your energy? Are you allowing yourself to ride down the tubes with them? Have you tried to settle someone else's quarrel and gotten in the line of fire? Stop. Recognize what it is that is mucking up the lily pond. Swim with frog. Frog's bug eyes see it all. Dive deeply and then hop to the next lily pad to catch the sun. In this way, you may see exactly what has been draining your energy. At times, all of life's activities can be overwhelming, and everyone occasionally needs a break. Contrary frog can signal one of these moments, but can also portend a time of feeling waterlogged. In feeling waterlogged, you may be dealing with too many emotions or feelings. This is to say that the world is too much with you, or that you have immersed yourself in one idea or activity to the exclusion of all other facets of life. If this is the case, a break from routine is suggested. Hop to other lily pads or visit other ponds for a while. Negativity is drawn to you when you refuse to give yourself the time and space needed to assume a new viewpoint. Frog in the contrary position is an omen that you are courting disaster if you don't stop and smell the lilies. Eat some flies, bask in the sun, and ribbit until the rain comes to refill your spirit. Miigwech. Have a great day. Heart hugs.